Howdy guys, my name is Kristen and I am an instructor in Texas A&M's Physical Education Activity Program, PAP. And today I just wanted to share a short yoga video with y'all. In today's society right now in the world, we are surrounded by so much activity, so much chaos going on. It's nice just to take a few moments to gift ourselves with some peace. So that is why we wanted to share some yoga with y'all today. There are really no props needed. If you have a mat, that is wonderful. You can go get your mat or maybe even just a towel. If not, carpet or rug will work just as fine. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so my dog Gunner has decided to join us today. We'll see how long he lasts. But let's begin by sitting down. We can cross our legs if we'd like to, or just any comfortable position for our legs works fine. And just closing the eyes for a moment. Giving a few shoulder rolls to the back if we'd like to. And finally pressing those shoulders up, back and down, almost like we're tucking our shoulder blades into our back pockets. Feeling a string at the center of our head pulling us up toward the ceiling. That string runs down the neck through the spine, allowing the heart to drift a little bit closer toward the sky. Taking some deep breaths here as we inhale, feeling the rib cage expand. As we exhale, pressing the belly button a little bit closer toward the spine. And remembering we might have a lot going on in our world, but setting all of those thoughts, all of those stressors just outside of the room for a moment. Instead, using all of that energy to focus on our breath. We might hear noises going on around us, the sound of the music, a car passing by, and acknowledging those sounds, but allowing them to come one ear and out the other, bringing the attention back to the breath. Remembering that no matter where we are, no matter how much chaos we're surrounded by, we can always find our quiet center by coming back to the breath. Opening the eyes if we've had them closed. As we inhale, reaching the arms up to the sky, nice breath in. And exhale, leaning over to that right side, getting a nice stretch down the side rib cage. Inhale back to center. And exhale to the opposite side. Inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, lower down, coming onto all fours. So we want our shoulders to be stacked on top of our wrists. Our hips are over the knees. Moving through a few cat and cow poses. So as we inhale, dropping the belly button down, turning our gaze up, maybe where the ceiling meets the wall for our cow. And exhale, tucking the tailbone under, chin comes into the chest, feeling those shoulder blades separating for our cat. Again, inhale to cow. And exhale, cat. Just continuing to move with your breath here. We might just be getting warmed up today, but then really beginning to exaggerate these movements. And from here, curling the toes under, lifting the knees up off of the mat, taking the tailbone into the sky for that classic downward facing dog. We can pedal out the heels if we'd like to, almost like we're walking the dog. We're trying to get the body to look almost like an upside down V. Hands are spread wide like two starfish on the mat. The head is just dangling between the biceps. Lifting the tailbone just a little bit closer toward the sky. shifting the weight side to side, just kind of nestling ourselves in this pose today. And walking the feet to the hands, coming into a nice forward fold. Letting our hands support ourselves somewhere, whether they're resting on the ground or our legs, maybe the tops of our feet. Releasing any tension from the neck and head, gently shaking the head no. And nodding the head yes. Saying yes, I am going to have a wonderful day today. And shifting the weight back into our heels, rolling up one vertebra at a time, coming into our nice mountain pose. So in mountain pose, our feet are about hips distance apart, toes pointed straight out in front of us, shoulders pressing down and back. And for a moment here, just rock forward onto your toes and back onto the heels. Rocking forward and backward between the ball and heel of the foot. Let's start to make those rocks a little bit smaller and smaller. Making them so small that we're not just standing, but we're actively balancing between the ball and heel of each foot. That is our Tadasana or mountain pose. So from our mountain pose, we'll step to the back of our mat, or to the front of our mat rather. Inhale, full send, reaching the arms up toward the sky, gazes up, exhale, leading down with our heart into a nice swan dive forward fold. And let's step back with our right foot, coming into a nice runner's lunge. So we have the knees stacked directly on top of the ankle, finding our balance here, raising up into a crescent pose. Interlacing the fingers, pointer finger goes straight up into the sky. Gazing up, opening the heart up toward the ceiling. Still breathing in and out through the nose, keeping that warm air inside the body, strengthening the muscles. Moving the hands down toward the heart and to the ground, dropping the back knee. We're moving into extended side angle, or rather reverse side angle. So we're going to take our hand, same hand as the leg that's in front, reach it up toward the sky. So that's going to be our left hand, reaching straight up into the sky. Gazing at that hand, trying to stack one shoulder on top of the other. And lowering it back down to the inside of that front leg. Leaning into the front leg, it's called lizard. It's kind of like a little split stretch. Taking a few deep breaths here. Sending that breath to the muscle that needs it the most today. That's not a special yoga power, but just simply imagining the exhale going toward that muscle that needs it. As we inhale, shifting the weight into that back knee, straightening the front leg, flexing that foot so we can stretch all the muscles down the back side of that leg that's in front. Gently leaning forward with our heart, trying not to round out the back. Closing the eyes if we'd like to. And walking the hands back in front of us. Raising up into a runner's lunge, pressing back to downward facing dog. Again, pedaling out the heels for a moment. Our feet are about fist distance apart. And this time stepping forward with our right foot coming into a nice lunge. Again, finding our balance, raising up into crescent. Remember, crescent is a balance pose, so if we're wobbling a little bit, that means we're doing it correctly. don't forget to smile. We love yoga. Yoga's our favorite. As we exhale, seeing if we can sink a little bit deeper into that nice lunge. Hands move through heart center to the ground, dropping the back knee. This time taking the right arm into the sky, same arm as the leg that's in front, reaching up for reverse side angle. Active energy, like we're trying to reach up and touch the ceiling. And on the next exhale, lowering the hand down to the inside of that front leg, leaning forward, coming into lizard. Shifting the weight into the back knee, straightening our front leg. Hands are resting in front of us, leaning forward with the heart, stretching all the muscles down that back leg. So we're stretching the leg in the opposite direction. And coming back forward into our lunge. This time stepping together for forward folds. Letting that head relax down toward the ground. Hands come to opposite elbows in ragdoll. Releasing all the tension in the lower back. We can even rock a little bit side to side. Stepping back with our right foot, coming into a nice lunge. Turning the back heel down onto the ground. We're raising the arms all the way up into Warrior Two. So for Warrior Two, our shoulders are stacked on top of our hips and the head is looking forward. Front toes pointed straight in front of us and the back foot is parallel to the back of our mat. So we're not reaching for anything in front of us. I like to think that it's like we're firmly planted in the present moment, but just the head is looking to the future. It's our little yoga nugget of wisdom for today. Taking that back arm to the lower back, reaching the front arm straight up into the sky, reverse warrior. Even though we're looking up, we still have a deep bend in our front knee, getting a nice stretch down the side rib cage. Back to Warrior Two. And straightening the front leg. Cartwheeling the arms down, legs stay straight, moving into triangle pose. We're trying to keep our shoulders stacked in line with our hips. Almost like we're being pressed between two panes of glass. Head is looking down in line with the spine or up toward the ceiling. Two more breaths here. On the next exhale, lowering the hand down, turning to our side, coming into a nice wide leg forward fold. So the toes are slightly turned in, that's safer for our joints and muscles. Hands can be resting on the ground, maybe on our dog or on our block. If we need one, we can even stack up a couple books. So our wide leg forward fold is one of my favorite poses because it is great for our memory, it improves the memory. And another benefit is it eases anxiousness. So I always think it's the best pose to do before an exam for my students. Improving our memory, helping us remember what we studied, but also easing that anxiety. Bringing the hands to our hips, rolling up one vertebra at a time, remembering we're only as old as the spine. And turning our toes out now to the sides of our room. working on our sunflower. So it's a fluid movement as we inhale, reaching the arms up to the sky. Exhale, bending the knees, hinging the hips, sweeping the hands down. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, coming down, just moving with your breath. Keeping the head over the heart and the heart over the hips. And then taking it to a moonflower. So it's like a wide-legged squat. Palms turn in to face each other. Our hips are trying to sink it down in line with the knees. Tailbone, tail feathers stay tucked under. Holding this next squat and focusing on our balance. Can we raise our right heel up off of the ground? Yes. Lowering it down, can we raise the left heel? All right. Again, raising the right. Can we keep it raised as we raise the left? Yes, we can. Can we sink a little bit deeper? And drop those heels down. Heel toe the feet back together. Shake it out, taking a few shoulder rolls to the back of the room. We've got to even it up and get our other side. So let's step back to the front of our mat, or we can even step to the opposite side here. Inhale, reaching the arms up toward the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Taking a few deep breaths. And this time stepping back into a lunge with our left foot. Nice runner's lunge here. Turning the back heel on to the mat. Windmilling the arms up into warrior two. So same thing. Hips are in line with the shoulders. Turn to the side of the room. And just the head is looking forward. Trying to strive for a deep 90-degree bend in that front knee. But I like to think that's why they call yoga a practice. That's just what we're striving to. Nobody's perfect. We're working on getting there. Back arm to the lower back, reaching up to the sky, reverse warrior, proud warrior. Actively reaching up, almost like someone tossed us a rope and we're gonna grab it, pull ourselves up. Inhale to warrior two. Straightening the front leg and cartwheeling the arms to triangle. Shoulders in line with our hips. It's almost like our arms and legs are the petals of a flower being pressed between the pages of a book. Two more deep breaths. Lowering the arm down, turning ourselves to a wide leg forward fold. Again, toes turn in. Releasing any tension in the neck and head, turning our gaze to the wall behind us. Walking our hands to the left side of the body, gently bending that left knee, getting a little stretch on the inside of the opposite leg here. And just changing sides, taking it over to the right side, bending the right knee. Come back to center, moving to the hips, slowly rolling up one vertebra at a time. And let's heel toe the feet back together. And have a seat on the mat, coming into a cobbler pose, or you might know it as butterfly stretch. So I'll scoot over here so you can see me. The soles of my feet are together. And we are just going to slightly lean forward. So again, keeping our flat back, remembering it's our heart that wants to touch our feet, not our head. So we're not rounding over. We can even use the elbows to press the knees a little closer to the ground. This is my favorite pose in yoga because it stretches the muscle that gives us those long strides when we walk. So we'll always have long strides. Gradually beginning to slow down the breath. Trying to make each exhale just a little bit longer than the one before. And from here, we can stretch our legs out in front of us. Grabbing hold of the sides of our legs, walking the hands down the body, rolling back one vertebra at a time into our Shavasana or corpse pose. Spreading out the feet about the width of our mat. Allowing the toes to roll open to either side of the room. And the arms slightly come away from the body, turning the palms up to the sky. And staying here. Closing the eyes if we haven't already. Beginning to relax the feet. Relaxing the muscles in our legs, the hips. Feeling the lower back sink a little deeper into the ground beneath us. Beginning to release the tension in the chest and shoulders, all the way down the arms, into the hands, allowing the fingertips to slightly curl in. Finally, relaxing the neck and head, all the muscles in the face, even that one right between the eyebrows. Releasing the jawbone, feeling the mouth slightly open. And relaxing the breath, just breathing in a way that's comfortable to us through the nose, through the mouth. But becoming aware of each breath that enters the body. Inhaling health and exhaling sickness. Inhaling strength and exhaling weakness. Inhaling peace and exhaling chaos. Beginning to wiggle the toes and fingers, patting the eyelashes, slowly bringing the attention back to the body. Taking the knees into the chest, just rocking side to side for a moment, giving ourselves a little hug, massaging the lower back. And when we are ready, either rocking over to our side and pressing ourselves up, or slowly rolling up into a nice seated posture where we started our practice. Sitting up straight and tall. Taking a deep breath in, reaching the arms out and up toward the sky, and bringing the hands down to heart center. Smile. At the end of every yoga practice, we say a word in Sanskrit, the language of yoga, namaste, that means peace be with you, or the light in me honors and recognizes the light in you.